Where in your life is the truth looking at you right in the face, but because it's in conflict with what you want, you're not able or willing to see it? This week I've been reading Judges, and I just read the story of Samson. And Samson was this amazing warrior who was gifted by God with this supernatural strength, and he had a woman who was his wife, and she wasn't an Israelite. She was essentially an outsider. And when he married her, she immediately started trying to figure out what gave him his strength. And every time he would give her a lie, he would tell her a story that wasn't true. And immediately there was a situation where that thing to try to take his strength happened. So he knew that this information he was sharing was getting out there. It's clearly from his bride. But because of his passion, love, desire, lack of ability to see and think critically, he never stopped sharing and giving her more information. And there was a point when he told her the truth, and he said, "Hey, if you cut my hair off, I'll lose all my strength." And that happened. She cut his hair off, and he lost all of his strength, and that was the day before he went into prison and then ultimately ended up dying. And I don't want to talk about the story of Samson. I want to talk about where in your life are there shifts and changes that you need to make, that we need to make, that we're not able to see because it's in conflict with what we want, because of a desire that we have to be with a certain person, or a thing that we want to ingest, whether it's drugs, alcohol, regular food. That's a problem. There are so many things in our lives as believers where we know if we took a step back and looked at that situation, like when we look at the situation of Samson, it's like, bro, you knew that she was going to try the next thing and your strength was going to be gone. Like, why did you tell her? It's because he was blinded by his own desire to have that relationship instead of recognizing that there was a problem. He kept going to it. So oftentimes we keep going to the very thing that if we would let go of it, we would find freedom. We would find wholeness. We would find breakthrough. I've had this in my life. One of the most recent things that I've decided to let go of was the consumption of alcohol. I didn't have a problem. I didn't have a drinking problem. I didn't have an issue. But the Lord put his finger on it and told me that he wanted me to give it up because it was a problem for my root system. So, and I am now on the other side where I'm starting to experience intimacy in a new way because I was willing to let go. What in your life do you need to let go of today?